What up and welcome back to Mega Man X2. This should be the third and final part. Should be. We're gonna start off with going back and picking up any upgrades that I miss, which if I'm not mistaken is the chest upgrade, a couple heart tanks, and a couple sub tanks. Start off by heading back to the junkyard. Too bad that broke. Need him to stay put. These other things is in the way. Missed. Broke him again, so now I gotta make him respawn one more time. Alright, let's try this again. Alright, up here should be the heart tank if you don't do like I do and take 14 tries to get up here. Alright, now to break out the spinning blade and hit the right part of the floor this time. That's the spot I was trying to get the first time through here. Alright, the final part of the armor. Alright, I was right, it was the body armor. This function only has one purpose in this entire game. And what stinks about it is they make you have to charge it up. Like, instead of just letting you use it right out of the capsule, they burn out the meter and then you have to take damage just to fill it back up to use it the one time that it's even useful for. Let's see, where else do I need to stop? I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the sub tank that I left here in Magna Centipede. Might as well go ahead and take the damage too and fill up that Nova Strike. I want to hurry through here, but I don't want to get too reckless and get crushed by a block or something. Let me at least try. There's no point of dawdling around. Ooh, got it. Alright, and we're out of here. Alright, let's see. Where else do we need to stop? Alright, cleaned up Wire Sponge. Morph is clear. Okay, I know I need to stop in Bubble Crab, but we're gonna go to Wheel Gator first. Have to get that heart tank off from that top of those spikes. Wasn't gonna attempt that without the speed burner. No point in picking that up. Thought about it, but I ain't gonna do it. Hey, let's see if we can do this without goofing up. Woo, that was close. So yeah, I think that leaves us with just one more stop, and that would be... Oh, no, we got two more. So hard tank and overdrive ostrich, and then the other sub tank in bubble crab stage. And the hard tank here is on that bed of spikes. If you know what you're doing, you can get it with this bike, but if not, then you have to use the burner and hope you pick up the heart tank before you die. Hit the wall. So no bike trick for me. I shorted it. Should have waited a little bit longer before I let the burner go. Take two. Still a little too early. Got it that time. Would have been cool if this game had a chameleon sting kind of attack that gave you temporary invulnerability so you could get stuff like that, but can't have that for every game. That would get kind of stale, so have to make do with what you got. All right, last pickup for sure this time. Yeah, I got that bat this time. Ain't gonna keep me from getting that extra life. I need every easy one I can pick up. Alright, let me go ahead and get that slicer charged up. He'll rip right through this fish. As long as you don't miss, of course. There we go. Who wants robot catfish? Somebody get the grease ready. Now, I didn't know about this trick the first time I really got to play through this game, where if you get up here, then you can just hop on the water. Like if you just spam the jump button right on the water surface, you can hop right across. Pretty nifty trick. Alright, head back to this little hole in the wall here and use the charged silk shot to fill up all the tanks real quick and easy. I guarantee you I'll be making at least 3 trips back here tops after the Sigma levels to make sure that I'm completely charged up and ready, because I'm gonna need it. Alright, everything's full, so time to head off to Sigma 1. It's funny when you get to the Sigma stages, they act like they can't tell you what the boss at the end of the level is. I mean, I guess they want it to be a surprise the first time you play it, but come on, man, you already know it's gonna be the X Hunters again. Just tell me which one so I can be ready. We take all the extra lives we can get. And moments like this is why picking up every extra life you see is crucial. Just for life's little mistakes like that. Just pick that life I lost right back up. Bubbles are real clutch right there. See if I can hit this thing with this shot before I didn't do it fast enough. That don't count. Yeah, too slow. Gotta almost do that while you're still on the ladder. Things stay trying to throw you back off into the abyss. Hey man, let me go. Stupid claw. If we had one of those claws in those arcade machines, maybe people can win actual prizes. Oh man, that closed off on me. Oh, let me go down this way. Take a bunch of unnecessary hits. Alright, let's try this again. I just gotta go for it. I didn't get none of them before they went up to pull the doors closed. This looks like the rematch with Violin, okay? This fight's much easier thanks to these blocks right here. Some you can kind of hide behind while that Morning Star is flying around. That's crazy that the first fight is actually a lot harder than the second fight. One little hit, but I've been doing real well. I should be fine. Alright, yeah, just keep using them blocks to your advantage. Whew, that was close. Alright, just a few more hits. I don't mind just taking the hits now, because he's done. Get out my face, boy. It's your little weak ball and chain thinking you that chick from Kill Bill. From the Crazy 88s. Alright, off to Sigma 2. Is it this stage or the next one where they let you get the Shoryuken? I can't remember. I felt like there was water when the Shoryuken was around. I could be wrong though. We'll see. Wish I had the confidence to use the burner to get across underneath there instead of waiting on the platform to come back and forth, but it's better for me just to wait. Yeah, go ahead and take those 2 little hits. No big deal there. Something tells me I should. Let me break this open. I feel like there's something in here important. That's not how you find out what's important. Alright, back across for the underwater journey one more time. I should have just charged up the bubbles again, get through here. I also like how in these X games, once you get the chest armor, the body armor piece, you take significantly less damage because until you get that piece, oh man, anything that makes contact with you is just beating you down. It takes forever for this thing to come down. Alright, take the hits from the little burners. So catch it back coming across. Alright, let's try this again. Use the burner to get across. Oh man, it was just an extra life, man. That wasn't important at all. What a waste of time. My good old memory failed me this go round. So it's definitely the next level where the Shoryuken capsule is. I'll make sure I never forget that. Had to use the bubbles this time. I was tired of taking all them hits. Had to cut the bubbles off before going in the water though, because them things they have you floating up, and that's a controlled disaster waiting to happen. One thing I definitely got to give this game credit for is the music definitely helps a lot when you're going through the levels over and over again. You know, easy on the ears, nice little soundtracks to listen to. Now, don't get me wrong, 2 isn't as iconic as 1's music is, but it's definitely doable and it's still better than the repetitive loops that is X3. Alright, so this is the only time the Giga Crush comes in handy. Only time you'll ever need to use it. Go ahead and clear that first layer off and get the slicer ready. Even though him doing that kind of hit me with those beads, charges it back up for me. I don't need it. So hard to get that distance just right where the arrows hit him going up and coming back down. Let me heal up real quick. Missed. Almost makes more sense just to send the single arrows at them instead of trying to hit them with those. Might have to do that just so I can get hits in, 'cause I keep missing. Better fill up again, just to be safe. Should be good here. Missed the charge one. Alright, one more hit. Literally just make any kind of contact. Thank you. Alright, now it's time for Sigma 3, and this is... well, hold on. Let me make it stop over here in Bubble Crab first. Like I always say, get them extra lives when they're free. Get your slicer charged up. No catfish for the family. I'm so glad they did this like this. You go one spot, charge up, bring in all the capsules you need. And go ahead and leave. You ain't gotta keep going through a single level over and over again, farming them. You can just farm them in one go. Now it's time for Sigma 3. This is where we get the Shoryuken. Thinking like I'm playing the first one, send the boomerangs in to bring you the items back. Doesn't work in this game. Make our way up our elevator here. Tell you what, spikes is definitely a one game feature, and I use feature in air quotations, that I can really do without. no matter what game they're in. And I mean, I know they're not supposed to be fun, but spikes are no fun at all. Like, I can't stand them. Alright, we gotta draw this bat over to the middle. So let me get, there we go, get one to spawn back and get him over here so I can hop up on this ladder. Get this extra life. Oh, well, that wasn't very smart. Alright, everyone, stick around, get your snacks, and for those of you who don't mind, please keep count. See how many takes this takes for me to get this Shoryuken. This is sure to be fun. And while we're fumbling around here, what's your favorite movie? One of my all-time favorites is definitely The Waterboy. Not one of Adam Sandler's best movies, but it's just flat out enjoyable. You got the decent soundtrack, alright, that's 2. Anyway, you got the good soundtrack, got the comedy, cameo by Lawrence Taylor, football. What's not to love about that movie? Another good one from around that time is definitely Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Of course, that year, Jim Carrey also had The Mask as well. Another great movie. Oh, I hate this corridor. That's 3. So Jim Carrey gave you both Ace Ventura and The Mask that year. Full of laughs and quotables. Let's see, what's some other really good movies? You know, even though I name comedies, my favorite genre is definitely horror movies, especially psychological films and J-horror films. And if they overlap, perfect. And if I'm keeping track right through my rambling, I believe that was 4. So let's try again. But yeah, J-horror movies are very entertaining. I thought The Grudge and The Ring, those 2 movies, I could watch those at any time. They're great. I tell you what's wild though. See, I was exposed to the American version of those movies first, and then watched the original Japanese versions afterwards. So, you know, especially with The Ring, I'm thinking, alright, I'm thinking about the American version in my head while watching the Japanese version, trying to keep track where everything kind of matches up. And for some reason, that actually made when things actually happen in the Japanese movie more frightening, because I'm expecting one thing and they go completely in the other direction. Like, say for instance, when they were watching the Cursed videotape, and you know, I'm expecting the tape to go like the tape did in the American version, and it's completely different. You know, the ocean that looks like people crawling and people going uphill backwards, and the man with the towel on his head pointing wherever he's pointing, just gives you the creeps. How many is that now? I done lost track. That's got to be like 6 or 7 at this point. Surely someone keeping track at home will let me know. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So yeah, that towel-headed man, real weird. So then the wildest thing about that whole movie is, of course, if you watch the American version, Samara's mom takes the bag, puts it over her head. I mean, if you haven't seen it, spoiler warning, but it came out in 2001, so whatever. But she puts the plastic bag over her head, chokes her, and then pushes her in the well. Pretty wild, but, tame once you compare it to the Japanese version where the dad runs up behind her with a bat, cracks her in the back of the head, and then pushes her in. So, you standing there just watching her look in the well, and you're like, oh, it's a nice shot. And then he just comes completely from out of frame. Just crazy. Whew. And what else? Oh, and how they do the reveals for the people that Samara got already. So full. And this cracks me up. So, American version, you find them stuff in the closet. Or, whatever, and their faces all, the light's been sucked out of them. Their eyes are pale. Their face is distorted. Which they have all that in the Japanese version, but for some reason in Japan, Samara likes to pull their pants down too. So not only has their life been sucked out of them, and their face looks all soulless, and their mouth is open, but their pants are down like they had explosive diarrhea or something. It's the funniest thing ever. Hilarious. Let's get the burner ready. What are we up to now? Just talking while I fumble around. You gotta time this just right. Didn't get it that time. Now, as far as The Grudge is concerned, and I don't think I've actually watched Ju-On. Ju-On? Is that how you say it? Ju-On? I don't think I've watched Ju-On all the way through where I can just do like a side-by-side comparison in my head, but what I did see seemed like it was fairly consistent. Like it didn't change too much. The only difference is Sarah Michelle Gellar's there. I think that's what happens when you have the same director do both movies. Finally. Alright, let me heal up too and make sure I don't miss out on the capsule just because I don't have all my energy. Alright, here it is, the Shoryuken capsule. Alright, let me try out this input a couple times before I head off. I want to make sure I got it right. This D-pad on these Xbox controllers are a little weird sometimes, especially with combo button inputs like the Shoryuken has. Might be better just to use the D-pad for it. I mean, not the D-pad, but the analog stick. Oh yeah, the analog stick is much better for the Shoryuken, so I think if I ever try to pull that off, I'll just use the analog stick instead. Right. Use these bugs as platforms. Ooh, don't let them. Let's get him off of me, because this is that was a recipe for disaster. And let me heal up real quick so I can get him out of here in one go. Alright, you gonna drop your platform, buddy? No? Shoryuken! Got him. I like if you wipe out his health, it lets you land on the spikes with no penalty at all. It's kind of hilarious, actually. Spikes will kill you. Unless you get rid of your enemy first, then it's fair game. Alright, let me fill my tanks back up before the boss rush. Remember, kids, always pick up your extra lives. Alright, time to fillet this fish one last time, or second to last time, or however many times. I'll fillet that fish till the cow comes home if it means I get my tanks filled back up. So yeah, back to the horror movie. So let me know what your favorite favorite movie is, and then what your favorite horror movie is if you watch them. Not horror movies ain't for everybody, I know. I tell you what, the worst one I've ever seen was, I believe it was a movie called Alive or Dead. I still have it in my DVD collection. That movie was terrible. It was shot bad. The story was bad. The monster was bad. I don't even think it was a monster. I think it was just a guy carrying around a hook on a chain, if I remember right. It wasn't even like see no evil hook and chain. It was just one that you would hook to the fender of your car if you're trying to pull it somewhere because your tire went flat or something. It's terrible. Alright, bubble crabs up first. Be careful. Yep, that's one Shoryuken. And two. Yeah, that movie was awful. But you know what? There's something about bad horror movies. Like, it's one of the few genres that if it's bad, it can still be good. You can just point out how bad it is and entertain yourself. If you got, you know, your significant other or a bunch of friends together, have a few drinks and just laugh at the movie, you can still have a good time with that. So that's the good thing about the horror genre. All right, wire sponge out of here. You just have tons of fun with it. I'll tell you one movie that's definitely worth a watch that you may not have heard of, and it's Midnight Movie. That one's, it's not the best, but it's pretty good. It's a solid movie. You know, you got your monster, people stuck in a movie theater. He's got this foot that he's got to drag, but he still moves around faster than everybody for some reason. Typical movie monster, but it was still a very entertaining movie. I would definitely recommend it. Guess I only get a couple uses after Shoryuken because I didn't time this right. Oh well, see if I can get my health back up enough to use it on someone else. See, what are some other good horror movies I've watched, or entertaining ones in general, good, bad, or otherwise? I know I've watched all 6 Paranormal Activity movies, which the quality in those, story-wise, kind of goes up and down. But as a whole, they're entertaining. So as the series goes on, the suspense and scares kind of go down, but the story itself kind of improves. I mean, it gets kind of convoluted after a while, but I mean, If you like trying to keep up with stuff like that and seeing time loops and how movies loop back into one another, it's worth a watch. Final Destination movies do that too. And I hate fighting Will Gator. Like, I hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Takes so long, it's so tedious because I can't seem to time getting multiple strike chains in a row. And I know there's absolutely no way I'm hitting them with a Shoryuken, so I just have to suffer through it. So since this is gonna take a minute, it's back to talking about horror movies. Let's see, I stopped watching the Saw movies after the 5th one? Yeah. I think whatever one Megan Good was in, I think that was the last one I watched. I think that was 5. I don't think I've watched any of the other ones. Couldn't do it. That was a story I just could not keep up with. Speaking of horror movies where Megan Good dies, see, there's One Missed Call. I could take it or leave it on that one. That one's on both versions at that. I tell you what though, the ringtone for the Japanese one that one will get next to you. There's something weird about the way it's patterned. It's real chilling. Not so much with the American one. I need to watch the Japanese version of The Eye. I've only watched the one with Jessica Alba that they made for America. That one was just kind of meh. There was a movie that my wife and I watched within the last year and a half that was really good. I have to remember the name of it because it has something to do with, I think this guy cheated on his wife and killed this woman, and he kept having like neck pain or something throughout the whole movie. And so the more his wife kind of dug into it, she found out what he was doing or what he did, and by finding out what he did, she also help free up the spirit of the woman that he killed or left for dead. And then it ends with the chick just sitting on, like, he took a picture and found the chick had been sitting on his shoulders the whole time, and that's why his neck was hurting and they couldn't figure out why. That was a good movie. I wish I could remember the name of it. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, please let me know the name, because I cannot remember it. That was a really good movie. To look that up man, it's gonna drive me crazy. I wish I could remember the name of that movie. Oh well. Figure it out at some point or another. Then there's that one with the Jotun Loki. The Ritual. That one was good. Netflix has a ton of decent ones if you're willing to sift through the bad ones. I know one thing, I don't care how bad they are, I will almost always watch a found footage movie, no matter how bad. So, just like I watch the Paranormal Activity movies, I'll sit through the Ghost Encounters movies, Gacy House, like all the found footage movies. I'll watch them at least once, no matter how bad they are, because for some reason, no matter how bad they are, they're mildly entertaining. Figuring out, what reason do they even have the camera, because you have to come up with a legitimate reason to keep the camera around. So why do they have the camera around? Why are they going where they're going? Why are they recording everything? It's always a fun watch. See how many of these Mavericks I got left. It should just be that's 2. Should be just 2 left. Ooh, I got full health back. Oh, Magnus Centipede, there's no way I hit him. Oh man, I had a chance and I whiffed it. I probably should have hit him with the silk shot first to get rid of his tail and then tried the Shoryuken. Now that I think about it, but you know, hindsight's 2020. Just gotta keep hitting him with the silk shot. Use the wall to my advantage. What are some other good horror movies? I just watched It Chapter 2 a couple weeks ago. Not a couple weeks ago, we just watched it last week. This month's been kind of long so far, so everything seemed like it was a couple weeks ago, but it was just last week. We just watched it. You know what? Wasn't too bad. I didn't really have a problem with it like other people did. I thought they did well. I really like the people that they picked. You know, I always enjoy seeing James McAvoy act. Bill Hader was fantastic. Thought it was a very good movie. Was it Bill Skarsgård? Fantastic as always as Pennywise. The stuff that dude can do with his eyes are insane. Like, yeah, they have to use a lot of CG for a lot of that stuff, but what he can do himself with his eyes and his face is amazing. So I know most people want to compare him to Tim Curry, and trust me, Tim Curry's performance in the 90s miniseries is definitely up there in the upper echelon of great horror movie villains, but I think Bill holds his own. I gotta give him credit. And I think the way that they handled the ending of it was a lot less ham-fisted and hokey than the 90s miniseries, because it coming out as a full-on spider tarantula thing, and the abdomen glowing as the dead lights, and then them just tipping it over like a cow at midnight to pull the heart out. It was weird, and it just seemed like such a letdown after, you know, the kids doing the first part so well. They always nail the kids part, no matter which movie it is. They nail the kids part, but the adult part, that's the part that's difficult for them to get done. I think this second go around was a lot better. Alright, one last stop to Bubble Crab to fill up before fighting Sigma. One last fillet of fish. Hadn't realized you can just hold on to it. You ain't have to let go. For some reason I thought you had to recharge over and over again to get the capsules to show up, but it's clearly wrong. I think it's kind of cool and dumb all at the same time that they make you go through a part of Magnus Centipede stage again before you get to Sigma. Especially having to wait for these bricks to drop. Hate that. Well, that was embarrassing. I guess that's what I get for talking about the stage. Guess next time I won't be so critical and be a little more careful. I have absolutely zero stealth when it comes to this game. Ooh, that was cool. Ah, it got me anyway. Gotta be careful with them blocks. Let me pay attention so I can actually get to Sigma. Gonna burn up all my lives before I actually get to the real fight. Whew, made it this time. I'm so glad I got those zero parts, because if I hadn't, I'd have to do this extra fight. I want no parts of fighting Zero at all. Not in this game. X6? Don't mind. He's easy. This one? Nope. Don't want it. Don't want no smoke with Zero and X2. Thanks for punching a hole in the floor, buddy. Best buddy. Alright, time to fight Wolverine Sigma. So, how come is it I can't bring in weapons from the last game, but he can? So he's got electric spark? That's not fair. Oh man, he's smacking me around the room. Boy, I wish I could have hit him with a Shoryuken. That would have been nice. I'm gonna have to fill up soon. Don't want to have to start this fight over again. Alright. Probably be a good idea if I actually move once I think he's gonna come back down to the ground. Goodness gracious. Timing is absolutely terrible right now. Of course, bubbles don't hurt him. It's worth a try, you never know. You think, oh, this guy has no weakness, and the next thing you know, Bubbles. Whew, I have to charge up again. This is just the first round. I still gotta fight 3D animated incomplete model Sigma. Alright, Sigma phase 1 is done. Now I have to fight unfinished Max Headroom, whose weakness just happens to be the strike chain. So I take back what I said before. It doesn't just have 2 uses, it's got 3 uses. Speed Run, Wheel Gator, and Max Headroom. Oh, well, the swords, that makes 4. Okay. Alright, strike chain, I see you. Kind of stinks he doesn't have a health bar, but you know he's about done once he turns red, so I guess that'll work. Oh, now I'm stuck inside of him. That's great. Alright, he should only have a few hits left. Let's see if I can catch him with a Shoryuken. Oh no. Ah! Not only did I fat finger it, I still missed. Man, that got him. Alright, as X is running out of the exploding lair, Sigma has been defeated for a second time out of 8. And that's gonna do it for Mega Man X2. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, the fails, and the movie discussion. We'll be back shortly with Mega Man X3. So hopefully you'll be there to join me for that. Maybe some more movie talk if you're into that sort of thing. Again, thanks for watching. Please leave a like, comment, like I asked earlier. What's your favorite movie? What's your favorite horror movie? What's a horror movie you think is awful but you still like to watch? And if you enjoy my content, please subscribe. Thank you.